Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And today we have something a little different we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be going over the new artifact sets that's going to be coming out in version 4.0, as well as the new weapons that are going to be releasing, both the battle pass as well as the forgeable weapons and fontaines. Before we get started with the video, make sure you guys hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel for more of this type of content. Don't forget to also hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on my latest upload, as well as whenever I go live on my streams. Now, let's not waste some time here. Let's get on to it. So here we go. We got ourselves the first set. It's called the Marichosi. I don't know if I pronounced that right. You guys can roast me down in the comments below how to pronounce it right. So Marichosi Hunter. So here's a new set. For the details, we got a 2-piece set effect of normal and charge tank damage plus 15%. Now this is what I want to see. Before, we've been used to getting like, okay, more generic stat buffs, right? Which, you know, don't get me wrong, those are always nice to have, right? But we don't necessarily have damage type buffs like normal and charge attacks. So I'm really glad that we got to see this. So this is going to be very, very helpful, especially for certain characters. We can now really utilize more 2-piece build combinations. So this is going to be a very, very nice addition to the artifacts roster. Now onto the 4-piece set. When the current HP increases or decreases, crit rate will be increased by 12% for 5 seconds, max 3 stacks. So you may be thinking to yourself, someone that can decrease their HP, Zhao and Hu Tao. Both have the whole decreasing HP mechanic. As for like if this is gonna be their new best in slot, for Hu Tao, most likely not, because she can only decrease her HP in only like one instance, whereas Zhao, it is possible, but then again, you're gonna have to find some sort of source of buffing and replacing all the attack percent buffs you're gonna be missing out from the Vermilion set, so which is Zhao's current best in slot. So in terms of both of their sets of best in slot or not, most likely not, basically because you get only crit rate from this 4-piece set effect, then it's not gonna be that necessarily needed. Although even just 1 stack, 12% crit rate is, you know, somewhat decent to have, so it's not bad to have. Other than that, this set is obviously tailor-made for the upcoming character Linny, because he does have an increase/decrease of HP mechanics, so this set works perfectly well with him in terms of synergy, so you're gonna definitely want to be farming this for Linny. Overall, this set does have potential, but for now, I just like the fact that the 2-piece set has a normal and charge attack damage buff, and that's gonna be very, very nice for 2-piece combination builds. Alright, so up next with the new artifact set, Golden Trub. Actually, both of these artifact sets here look really nice in terms of design, so here is what they look like. Now on to the 2-piece set, which looking at this, it is just, it's just beauty to my eyes. Increasing elemental skill damage by 20%. This is already like a pretty good amount. And the fact that, again, like the previous artifact set where it buffs your normal and charge attack damage, it's going to be quite similar. Instead, it's elemental skill damage. Thank goodness they finally added this. I've been waiting for a set like this where they buff another damage type, like what we've been having with 4-piece emblem where they buff elemental burst damage. Now we have a set where it buffs normal and charge attack damage and elemental skill damage. That's not even the best part. Let's go on to the 4-piece set. Increases elemental skill damage by 25%. Damn, already you get a 45% just by like having the 4-piece set. That's crazy. And additionally, when not on the field, elemental skill damage will be further increased by 25%. This effect will be cleared 2 seconds after taking the skill. What? You're telling me you get 50% plus another 20? That's 70%. That is crazy. 70% elemental skill damage. Oh my goodness. As if we didn't need another official buff, dude. Oh yeah, you know what, let's make Fischl like even better, because like she really needed that buff, honestly. Dude, Fischl was just like, she just was not doing enough damage, so let's just boost this up even more. Oh my god, dude. Wow, this is insane for sub DPSs. Dude, Fischl and Yaimiko, this is the buff that we've been waiting for. This is crazy. I mean, look, again, Fischl just keeps getting better and better. She went from I already considered like one of the best 4-star characters to now arguably the best 4-star character in the game. She is gonna hit hard. This is gonna be crazy. So we officially now have a 4-piece best in slot set for Yaimiko and Fischl. This is gonna be bonkers. I can't wait to farm this out for them. It's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah, so overall for these 2 artifact sets, actually looks pretty good. Especially this one. This is gonna be almost mandatory to farm for Fischl and Yaimiko. So yeah, it's pretty great. Alright, so on to the forgeable weapons first, then we'll go jump into the battle pass. So here are the details. So it's obviously all of them are going to be 4 stars. Actually, everything here is going to be 4-star. I don't know what I'm talking about. In terms of stats, we got base attack of 510 and the subset is attack percent of 41.30%. That's pretty good. And for the passive, Benthic Pulse, after the wielder is healed, they'll deal 60% more damage for 8 seconds. This can be triggered even when the character is not on the field. Okay, so, well, obviously, once again, another viable linear weapon. Okay, actually, in terms of, like, weapon design, this looks really, really beautiful, man. Fontaine's weapon series looks really nice. But as for, in terms of performance, though, we'll see how it goes. But for now, as long as the wielder is getting some sort of healing source, then they'll deal extra damage. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So, that's great for any other bow DPS characters. And obviously with refinements too, this will be an increase of 32%. So this is actually a pretty great bow, but you do have to rely on healing. So that is the only thing about that. But other than that, yeah, pretty great. On to the next weapon for the sword is called the Finale of the Deep. Now for the stats, base attack is 565, so pretty high for a base attack for a 4-star weapon. And in the attack percent, however, you do have to compensate for the high base attack. You have to get lower substat value, which is 27.60% attack. Now for the passive here, ooh, okay, we got a little Yu-Gi-Oh card description here. An End Sublime. When using an elemental skill, attack will be increased by 12% for 15 seconds, and a bound of life worth 25% of max HP will be granted. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds. When the bond of life is cleared, a maximum of 150 attack will be gained based on 2.4% of the total amount of the life bond cleared, lasting for 15 seconds. Okay. Bond of Life will absorb healing effects that a character receives. This will prevent them from recovering HP. After this character is healed for an amount equal to the Bond of Life, the bond can then be cleared. When a character is granted another Bond of Life, the healing required to clear the Bond of Life will also stack. The Bond of Life has also a very long duration if not actively cancelled or removed by a statute of 7. Huh? Okay, that's very interesting. So, it seems like once you grant this Bond of Life passive here, or effect, you'll basically will have a certain period of time where you just can't heal. But after it is clear, you will gain extra bonus attack. Okay, yeah, this is interesting. I'm not necessarily sure how this is gonna work, but it seems like this trend here in terms of like the previous weapon, you're gonna be using some form of healing effect. And obviously for this, you're gonna have a certain period where you can't heal at all. Once it is cleared, you will get additional attack. And also when you trigger your elemental skill, attack will be increased as well. So basically, this is an attack stat stick. Will it be good for certain sword characters? Well, I'll have to wait and see to find out. Because for now, all I can say really is this is going to be quite restrictive in terms of like how you're going to be using this in terms of combat. But obviously, if the character does not need to be healed, then this is going to be a solid attack stat stick in my opinion. So overall, a pretty solid weapon. Also, the weapon design looks great. On to the next weapon, the Claymore called Tidal Shadow. So here the stats, base attack is 510 and attack substat is 41.30%, pretty good. I think it's the same thing as the bow. And for the passive, White Cruising Wave, after the wielder is healed, attack will be increased by 24% for 8 seconds. This can be triggered even when the character is not on the field. Okay, so this is basically the same thing as the bow. It's literally the same effect, except that this will be just giving you 60% more damage, whereas this will be just giving you additional attack percent. So I would say probably this will be better, especially with refinements. This will be just giving you overall higher damage, whereas this one is just giving you more attack percent. But with refinements, again, you do not take this lightly because, you know, again, with R5, it is doubled the stat value. So instead of 24%, it'll be 48, and that is a ton of attack. So again, very straightforward passive like the bow. Same issue, you do need to be healed in order to gain this passive here. So we'll see how this goes. It seems like the direction we're going to be going through is we're going to be having a lot of content where it's going to be required us to be healing. So we'll see again how this is going to work and fit into the game. But for now, another powerful attack stat stick. On to the next weapon, the polearm Rightful Reward. So the stats here is base attack is 565 and HP this time substat is 27.60%. Ooh, perhaps full Solar's weapon? You know, who knows? And for the passive here, Tips of the Spear. When the wielder is healed, restore 8 energy. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds and can occur even when the character is not on the field. Okay. So yeah, obviously this is going to be a support polearm that you can use. So a lot of like HP scaling characters like Mika, Yao Yao, or Toma could definitely use this weapon, especially if they need to generate extra energy. Then, you know, this will overall double the value as well. This is actually a really great weapon to use on Yaya too, since she does have built-in healing as well. So yeah, interesting weapon. we'll see how this fit in when the future releases for other characters comes in for polearm. And finally, we have the catalyst called the Flowing Purity. So for the stats here, basically the same stats as the Claymore. Base attack is 565 and the substat attack percent is 27.60%. And for the passive Unfinished Masterpiece, when using an elemental skill, all elemental damage bonus will be increased by 8% for 15 seconds, and a ball of life worth here we go again. And the bond of life worth 24% of max HP will be granted. This effect can be triggered once every 10 seconds. When the bond of life is cleared, every 1000 HP cleared in the process will provide 2% of elemental damage bonus. Up to a maximum. Never mind. Up to a maximum of 12%. So basically, if you have like 12,000 HP, so pretty much like nearly every single character can get this. This effect will last for 15 seconds. The value will double though, so I'm assuming it's still going to be 1,000 HP, but it'll be 24%, which is a lot in terms of elemental damage bonus. This effect lasts for 15 seconds. The Bond of Life will absorb healing effects that a character receives. This will prevent them from recovering HP. So same idea as the Claymore, except that this is going to be in terms of elemental damage bonus. So everything seems to be like quite similar. Just in terms of highlights, this will just be increased more damage. This will be giving you more attack percent based on reducing the healing effects. Also, actually what I was referring to earlier for this is actually the sword, not the Claymore. For this, will be granting you extra attack percent as well, but from healing. This will be actually the most unique one because this is an HP statistic, and then this here is going to be giving you elemental damage bonus. I will say maybe just by looking at this, I think this might be the strongest other weapon series, or the bow here as well. They're all pretty good though otherwise. I'm pretty happy with this because, like, again, they seem to be quite universal, and you know, a lot of other characters could really use these other weapon types that I can list. So yeah, overall the Fortune World weapon series, pretty great. Also the catalyst looks nice. Alright, so on to the fishing weapon. So you can obtain this from fishing. It says right here, exchange at the Fontaine Fishing Association. So here are the substats. So here is the stats. Base attack is at 510. Energy recharge is 49.90%. Okay, good. I do like seeing energy recharge for 4-star weapons. That's always very nice to have. For the passive Iron Bone, increases elemental skill crit rate by 8%. Additionally, increases the energy recharge by 60% for 5 seconds after using elemental skill. Okay. Yeah, okay, interesting. Okay, so wait, is this is a sword, right? I actually don't know. Doesn't say. This could be a polearm or this could be a sword. I really don't know. If this is like a polearm, Xiangling once again has another powerful option. But if this is a sword, then this is still like going to be a powerful weapon option for a lot of other characters. Bennett is a great example. You can definitely use this on Bennett. This is a great energy statistic that you could use for him. But the elemental skill crit rate is kind of nice as well. And obviously at R5, this will be increased in terms of overall value. So this will be 16%, and then this will be 32%. So that's, yeah, that is a lot. This is going to be a powerful energy statistic. So I do like this way more than the Samara fishing weapon, for those who remembers that, honestly. Alright, so now we're moving on to the Battle Pass weapons. So starting off with the bow, Scion of the Blazing Sun. So for the stats here, we got base attack of 565 and the crit rate is 18.40%. Okay, so this is where, you know, the value starts to increase. So just a little heads up. Battle Pass weapons will likely to have crit on their subsets because, well, they are premium exclusive weapons from the Battle Pass. So stats wise, looks pretty solid. For the passive here, the Way of the Sunfire. After charge attack hits an opponent, a Sunfire arrow will descend upon the opponent hit, dealing 60% attack as damage, and applying the Heart Seer effect to the opponent damaged by said arrow for 10 seconds. Opponents affected by a Heart Seer take 28% more charge attack damage from the wielder. A Sunfire arrow can be triggered once every 10 seconds. So this here, I'm hoping, like, based on the wielder's elemental type, and it's not like just, like physical damage or whatever. If it's just like how the 3.3 event exclusive weapon works, then this is a pretty good effect here. Opponents affected by this as well will take 28% more charge. Yeah, this part is pretty good for charge attack damage dealers. Obviously, once again, we have 2 more bow options if you don't end up getting Linny's signature weapon. These 2 options are going to be pretty great to be using on Linny. So yeah, once again, pretty great. As well as for other charge attack characters, comes into mind Ganyu. I'm assuming this weapon will be another powerful weapon to use on her. I mean, 28% at R1? That's pretty nice, honestly. And imagine this at R5. That's gonna be quite a powerful boost. Next, we got the sword. It's called the Wolf-Fang. For the stats, we got base attack of 510. Crit rate is 27.60%. So crit rate is a lot higher compared to the bow because, again, the base attack is a lot lower. So yeah, that's pretty nice. And now for the passive here, Northwind Wolf. Damage dealt by elemental skill and elemental burst is increased by 60%. Already, that is a non-conditional buff, which is always very, very welcome to have. When an elemental skill hits an opponent, its crit rate will be increased by 2%. When an elemental burst hits an opponent, its crit rate will be increased by 2%. Both of these effects last 10 seconds separately, have 4 max stacks, and can be triggered once every 0.1 seconds. Oh, okay, so these two are treated as separate buffs, and they will have 4 max stacks. So once you get at max, that's 8%. And at R5, this will be 16% and can be triggered once every 0.1 seconds. Okay, so a lot of other characters could definitely use this, especially for like offensive damage dealers. This is a pretty solid weapon. I like the fact that these two are separated buffs. So whatever instance for one of these two ticks will grant you like the just extra bonus crit rate. So overall, this is a crit rate attack stat 6. So that's always very, very nice to have. And obviously, this will cut down the required crit rate that you need in your build. So always great to have this kind of weapon. Alright, so onto the claymore. It is called the talking stick. Alright, interesting. Now for the base attack is 565 and crit rate is 18.40%. It's same stats as the bow. The passive here is called the silver tongue. Attack will be increased by 16% for 15 seconds after being affected by pyro. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I like that. This effect can be triggered once every 12 seconds. All elemental damage bonus will be increased by 12% for 15 seconds after being affected by hydro, cryo, electro, or dendro. Oh, okay, never mind. That changes things. This effect can be triggered once every 12 seconds. So, okay, so obviously this claymore is very good for Ito. Okay, jokes aside though, this claymore is obviously encouraging to use one of these elements that is provided from the passive so you can gain the buffs. Only pyro will grant you an attack percent, while as the hydro, cryo, electro, or dendro will give you all elemental damage bonus. And with R5, wow, that is a powerful buff in terms of like how much you can receive from this weapon. Overall, this is a great weapon. I actually do like this. You have crit rate in here. You also get bonus attack from affected by pyro, and you also get elemental damage bonus from either having all these. And I'm assuming these are all separate effects too, so you can pretty much do both at the same time, and it is quite easy to do all these as well. And 12 seconds is not as demanding either, because, you know, it's enough in terms of like rotation wise, so this is pretty good. This is gonna be, once again, claymore has good value for battle pass. Alright, so onto the polearm, the Ballad of Fjords. For the stats, we got a base attack of 510 and crit rate is 27.60%. I believe that's the same as the sword. Yes, it is. For the passive here, Tales of Tundra, when there are at least 3 different elemental types in your party, elemental mastery will be increased by 120. Oh, okay. So if you can at least get like, well, I mean, it's really straightforward. If you can at least get 3 different elemental types in your party, then you just straight up get a 120 EM buff. A character that could really benefit from this is Scion or Xiangling. Both of these two could really get these buffs. I would probably say Scion has a better chance of granting this buff though, because his teams, especially nowadays, have become more various in terms of elemental types. So this is gonna be a pretty good weapon on Scion, honestly. As for like the upcoming like polearm characters we could get potentially, we shall see how that goes. But for now, the polearm is pretty straightforward. As long as you can, you know, get this, it'll be pretty great. Otherwise, if you can't grab this passive here, then it's quite useless and you only just use it for the crit substat. And finally, we have the last weapon here of the day. Is called the Sacrificial Jade. What? Okay, these 2 words here are already in the game, so sometimes kind of throws me off a bit. Like, we have a Jade series and a Sacrificial series. Honestly, I thought this was like Sacrificial Fragments 2.0 or the Jade Catalyst 2.0. Anyway, funny name. So we got ourselves a base attack of 454. Okay, so very low in terms of base attack, but the crit rate, however, is 36.80%. That is high. Now for the passive here, Jade Circulation. When on the field for more than 5 seconds, max HP will be increased by 32%, and elemental mastery will be increased by 40. These effects will be cancelled after the wielder has been on field for 10 seconds. Okay, alright, well, Baizu Catalyst? Okay, honestly though, like, aside from the HP stuff, the AM buff is quite nice, and especially at R5 is 80. Okay, no, actually, no, now that I think about it, it's more of like a sub-DPS Catalyst user. Honestly, I'm not sure why they made the crit rate so high, since especially there's not too many Catalyst damage dealers as of right now that could really use this. That scales with HP as well. Which only as of currently I can think of, Kokomi is the only character that can really scale with HP, and this Catalyst is kind of a red flag for it because it has a lot of crit rate, unless, you know, Kokomi crit build. No, but definitely I would not use this on her because there's just too many other Catalyst options that you could use on her. This is overall quite an interesting weapon that I've seen. I don't know who this will be used on. Maybe this will be used for potentially upcoming Catalyst characters that we could get for Fontaine. For now, I don't really see this being used on anyone, so unfortunately, this weapon is an alright weapon to use. Alright, so that's pretty much all the weapons here. For this one, this is Linny's signature weapon, but we'll be breaking that down in the next upcoming video for the banners video, so stay tuned for that. And that is pretty much all the weapons and artifacts as well discussed in this video. So if you guys enjoyed that, make sure you guys hit that like button as well as subscribe to the channel for more of this type of content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on my latest uploads and whenever I go live on my streams. Let me down below in the comments how you guys feel about the upcoming weapons and artifacts. And that is everything all I got. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time, stay epic and peace out.